Alright, let me drop a truth bomb here. India has got the worst crop of influencers. You know, these guys, okay, let's for a second say they're honest. They genuinely believe what they believe, or what we think they believe in. Their tweets, their bites to paparazzi, or whatever they say in press conferences, they actually believe it with all their conviction. Where the problem lies is that their convictions, their beliefs, they are based on their opinions which do not come from facts. The facts, their facts, come from their opinions. You know what these guys do? They first form an opinion, they formulate a theory based on their convictions, based on their worldview. They look at an issue and they form an opinion. Acha, I am on this side of this issue. I am against these people. An opinion which is in very binary terms. And then they start looking for facts that could validate their theory, their opinion. And then they start to mislead their fans, their followers, which is us. And we get misled voluntarily. Opinions or theories ought to come after facts, not the other way around. I used to lean more towards the right. I had a lot of respect for liberals on the right, but the way they carried themselves, their take on the whole SSR case, let me name the names, Sushant Sareen or Anand Ranganathan, two people I immensely respect. But when I read their tweets over this case and how they almost turned themselves into cheerleaders for Kangana, these two people are the brightest minds we have in India in the political space. And so when you read their views, or when you see them trolling some nepotistic kids like Sushant Sareen did with Sonam Kapoor, it was quite a shocker for me, because he has always come across as a very, very reasonable man who knows his facts, and he does on most things life. And then you have the left liberals, the less said the better. Hey everyone, this is Rohit Rana. You're watching Lezu Martini, and in this video, I'm going to talk about two individuals, celebrities, influencers, whatever you call them, the only two people in India that you should listen to. When they speak, one of them expresses himself in a very cringeworthy manner, but just sit back and listen to that guy, and he might start making sense to you. One honorable mention for this video is Sushmita Sen. Whenever I have heard her speak, she just comes across as a person who is not just well read, but has very grounded views. She's not following the crowd. She has her own brain, and she likes to use it, which is very, very, very rare for even influencers. So let me just get to the point and mention or describe two individuals who, just like Sushmita Sen, have their own brains, and they believe not in misleading people, but they have well-rounded opinions. They don't pick a man or a woman and tell it to themselves, okay, I hate this guy, and whatever he's going to do from now on, I'm going to oppose it. That's not what these two men do. Talking of Saurabh Pant, if you could just go on YouTube, and let's say you have to find out his political views, you could go on YouTube and search Saurabh Pant Modi, Saurabh Pant BJP, Congress, whatever. Or if I can direct you to a very specific video, the one that he created around that event, where Narendra Modi can be seen pushing Mark Zuckerberg, rather pulling Mark Zuckerberg aside, only because he was blocking the camera. He was coming between the camera and Modi ji. Saurabh Pant had a very unique take on that whole thing. If you remember correctly, Modi was ostracized for doing that. he was trolled mercilessly. People who already hate him were just looking for an opportunity like that. Everyone went crazy. They were very creative tweets, memes, and all. Humor and all was fine, but people who genuinely hate Modi, they had a field time. And whether they pretended or whether it was real, but they outraged mercilessly. They outraged. They were so angered that how Modi is bringing shame to India in these international events and everything. But if you watch Saurabh Pant's video, who's a lot of times who's mostly critical of Modi, but he had a very unique take. He was like, why is everyone outraging? For centuries we have been pushed around by white people, by these Americans, by British and everything, and it's no big deal. And but more importantly, what Saurabh Pant talked about in that video, he highlighted all the achievements of Narendra Modi in that tour that he had, how many investments he brought home. And it was a kind of a monologue where he put everything in perspective. He's not a Modi apologist, let me just clear that. But despite the fact that he has a lot of jokes to be made on Modi, he criticizes him. And for example, he criticizes how Modi, through his tweet, like if you go through Narendra Modi's timeline on Twitter, it's like he's pretending as if nothing wrong is happening in India. It's all great. Everything is rosy dory. So, Saurabh Pant is that guy. And not just Modi, for example, his views on feminism. He has a whole video on feminism, which is from the perspective of mostly, let's say, men or people who hate feminism. But at the same time, he takes the other perspective of as well. People who go all gung ho about feminism, and how women still are oppressed in every part of the world, which is true to a lot of extent. We are going about fighting for those women, we are going about fighting for feminism. We have taken quite a wrong route, in my view. It's kind of necessary in a lot of ways because you have to fight aggression with aggression sometimes. But wait, this video is not about my views. Talking of Saurabh Pant, if you watch that video, it's a very interesting video. And there are all these bits. If you watch his interviews, for example, it's not specific videos. It's not like he decides someday, okay, I'm going to do some pro Modi today. So yeah, every bhakt, please watch my video and give me likes. A lot of random conversations you can watch Saurabh Pant in, and you can draw your inferences, you can draw your conclusions about where he is. And thankfully, he has not picked a side like 99.99% of influencers, commoners, everybody. Sonu Nigam is a very interesting personality in the sense that he is a very, very smart person, but who has the most cringy way of expressing himself. Sonu Nigam's views are very progressive. I know you're probably spitting on your screen hearing that, but it's a fact. It's just that the language that Sonu Nigam uses, and how he talks, his body language, his demeanor is it makes you cringe. It makes you run for your sick bag sometimes. But if you can move past that, if you can move past his not so very sophisticated and very dramatic way of expressing his feelings, and you actually listen to what he has to say, you will realize that this is a guy who does not believe in picking sides, shutting down his own brain and saying, okay, that guy is my guru. I follow Modi, and so I will run after him no matter what. I'll run after Bhakts and other BJP supporters and Arnav. I'll follow their narrative. The leftists, the people who fondly and very cutely call themselves liberals, they hate Sonu Nigam. Like most things, life, politics, feminism, movies, life. Liberals have absolute disdain for facts. Yeah, I know that's quite a shocker. People who have been following some liberals, when I say liberals, I mean liberals. If you follow some very popular liberals in our from our country, for example, the Tharoos, Rana Ayub, Barkha Dutt, or from Bollywood, Anurag Kashyap, Kangana Ranaut was thought of as a liberal up until a year back. Uh, you know, they are amazing at swinging rhetorics at us. When they talk, you want to sit down and you want to listen to them because they make everything sound sensible. And it's not just the way they talk. Anurag Kashyap is not a great talker, but he's such a fantastic artist. He's so good at what he does, his art, that in India, people just believe him because they think he has the merit to talk anything he pleases. Even if he does not have facts, people are like, dude, he has made gangs of Wasseypur. He knows his shit. Even if he doesn't, even if he's not presenting any facts, the same can be said of Kangana Ranaut. Right, the whole right wing, including all the liberals from left wing, from right wing, have turned themselves into cheerleaders of Kangana Ranaut. Why? Because she's a national award winner. She's a woman. She can talk great things on feminism, and that's what made people from the left wing her fans. Right? Barkha Dutt was not the only person who turned Kangana Ranaut into a national icon, into a god. Kangana Ranaut was literally worshipped by people from the left, the same people who are abusing her left, right, and center every day for the right reasons, though. But those are the same people who created this monster. Okay, sorry. Back to Sonu Nigam. So left hates Sonu Nigam because of those tweets over Azan. They did not care what else he tweeted that day, or what else he tweeted a year back about Ganesh Utsav festivities. People don't care about that, or people don't really care. Leftists don't care that he said the whole Babri Masjid demolition was unnecessary. It shouldn't have been done. He said in clear words that BJP is responsible for all the mess that was created, because whatever happened 300 years ago. You did not have to, in 1991, you did not have to dig out the ghost of the past, or the current issue, the whole drug issue, where some ministry tweeted a fake picture of Sonu Nigam where he was seen, that account was seen making mocking Deepika Padukone, and Sonu Nigam not just denied that it wasn't his account. He said, आपके जो ये मुद्दे हैं ये टुच्चे हैं. He does not identify with those issues. He could have just taken that line, Kangana Ranaut's line, because he was already there, right? He spoke about how mafia is ruling the music industry, and he did not justify everything that Kangana Ranaut was doing, but he did say that I don't think she's as crazy as, like, she would manufacture a story about Mahesh Bhatt throwing a chappal at her. But he did not glorify her like everyone else did, and he has been quite mum on everything that has transpired since, because he knows, he realizes that it's all going to shit. It's the whole thing. It was started by Kangana Ranaut just to get some attention for herself, or to further her agenda against Karan Johar or against some big men in the industry. He acknowledges that. So he just, in the initial few days, he spoke about his experiences or what he hears around in the industry, how the new singers are struggling, new musicians are struggling, and he spoke that he did not talk of nepotism at all. What he said was very real, and everybody from the industry agreed with him, including the leftists, right? So I hope India as a nation, Indians, we start to open our eyes, use our brains, and not blindly follow the likes of Anurag Kashyap, Kangana Ranaut, Barkha Dutt, and everybody, every influencer on the right or on the left. Saurabh Pant and Sonu Nigam are the two influencers we really need right now. We need to sit back and listen to them. Of course, Saurabh Pant Sarupan sounds like he makes way more sense because he has a way with words. That's his profession. Sonu Nigam is a singer. He talks very dramatically. Sometimes he would use very cringy language, but you just have to look past that and sit down, sit back and listen to his views, and you might just come off as a learned person. Subscribe to Legend Martini for your daily dose of lifestyle, movies, fashion, career, health and wellness, and everything else under the sun. Don't forget to hit the bell icon.